So potentially then, 12 rounds in front of us here to decide the WBA Intercontinental Middleweight Championship. And the referee for this one, Erkki Merinen from Finland, ex-professional welterweight, one of my old sparring partners, believe it or not. Decent boxer. And the first time I ever saw rubber boots was when Erkki was wearing them back in the 70s. Anyway, this is a potentially explosive contest early on, I think, because I've got a feeling here that Velazco's come to fight. He probably doesn't have a great deal of choice. Well, he's a very wide puncher. And as you can see here, this Armenian, Artillero Abraham, is very cool. This could be a big test for him. Nice big long, ooh, well, I say, it's a nice one. It wasn't, it's a very long, wide left hook there from Velazco. And just imagine if he gets on the inside here, Velazco, he'd be punching throwing those punches from 10 feet back. He is a very wide, undisciplined kind of puncher, but it makes for an exciting fight sometimes. So a nice aggressive start then from the Argentinian. Of course, he knows he's got to take the fight to the opponent. Got to rip away a title these days. And even if you do, you sometimes find yourself on the short end. Quite an upright fighter, by the way, Abraham, isn't he? And to left hook there. Well, things are beginning to close up a wee bit now, as we've gone past the halfway point in this opening session. Abraham probably taking a look at Velazco to see what he's got to offer. Taste his power, see what he's got to offer in that department as well. And also whack home a couple of shots to see if he can take them. So the reigning and defending champion then, second defence of the title here, Artillero Abraham, German-based Armenian. Incidentally, this is only the second time that Velazco has ever boxed outside of his native Argentina, and it's the second fight he's had in Germany. I say the first one was a split decision loss to Felix Sturm, who was apparently robbed against Oscar De La Hoya. So a fairly quiet start then from Abraham. But an aggressive start there from this Argentinian means I think he's won that first round, not by a great deal, but by enough. He's had a call from my old mate, Derek Iserman, who tells me that his wife, Viv, thinks I talk too much. Well, I tell you what, Viv, this is just for you. There you go, 3 minutes of complete silence for you, Viv. Also had a call from my mate Joe Egan, remember him, Irish heavyweight, and he put me on to Paul Silky Jones. Nice to hear from the pair of them, and they're doing very well, by the way. They're arranging a benefit do for Sean Cummins, who was sadly badly hurt in a motorbike crash recently. Good to hear from you, boys. Joe Egan and Paul Silky Jones, remember them? Joe fights every few years. Into round two we go then, of a scheduled dozen. Just to remind you what's on... Well, I won't remind you what's on the line. You know what's on the line here. Anyway, Artillero Abraham, by the way, he's got extraordinarily long arms from middleweight. Well, he gave the running to Velazco in the opening round, but he's certainly going to make it here himself. He is very cool, isn't he? Doesn't waste a great deal of energy either. Doesn't skip around the ring. He slides around here. Very straight backed. Got a good eye. When you've got arms as long as this, it's not too hard to hit your opponent. And you saw there a moment ago how cool he is when the pressure begins to mount. And Velazco was, well, once again threatening to bowl over these big punches. Just trying to think who he reminds me of. Bit of a throwback fighter, isn't he? Regardless. Nice bit of work there from Velazco. In some ways, I've got to say, Velazco reminds me of a wee bit of Ray Mancini. Remember him? What a cracking little fighter he was. His approach, you know, the way he goes in, although I think Ray was an all-round much better fighter. He's got that kind of style, hasn't he? That Ray Mancini style. Well, those of you that don't remember back that far, take my word for it. Well, Abraham once again allowing Velazco to do the mixing here. Not taking any chances early on. And as a result, of course, Hector will be nicking this round. Still the odd corrective punch coming back at him from Artillero Abraham. And if you're wondering why I call him Artur instead of Arthur, it's quite simple, really. I wouldn't want the Germans to call me Stefan. I want them to try and call me Stephen or Steve, because that's what my name is. And his name isn't Arthur, it's Artur. Oh, little clip there from Abraham. Well, there's the bell to end the second round, and well, ultimately a fairly close one, but I still think that Velazco might just have edged that one, although it looked like he was coming apart towards the end of the second there. Well, there's Felix Sturm in the orange, who of course did have the pleasure of facing and his nutcase mate. So Artillero Abraham, as I say, on paper, with a 5-round knockout win, a clean knockout of Christian Sanabria, who held Hector Velazco to a draw. As I say, on paper, it looks like it could be his fight. But as I say, you know, this other man has had a lot more experience. Fight number 36 for him, only number 16 for Abraham. But he looks very, very cool, this guy, doesn't he? Very cool indeed. Cool in the face of pressure. So, Hector Velazquez then in the black sparkly shorts. I think is one of the first couple, but by no means easily that second session by any means. And, well, he might just be getting away with as much as Abraham lets him. We'll see. Well, he's still quite lively, isn't he, Velazco? Referee, ex-Finnish welterweight, Erkki Merinen, always keeps himself in great shape. Oh, nice little right there. Well, that's interesting. Oh, goodness, a left hook. Come uppercut there. And he's on his back here. We're in round 3. He's going to beat the count. He's dropped his gum shield. That'll have to be washed and replaced. Well, that's interesting. Now, I don't really know what that was about, what Velazco was complaining about there. He got tagged with the right hand, complained about it getting hit on the back of the head, which I didn't really notice. He then took an uppercut come left hook that put him on his back. So now Abraham will have a lot of confidence, thinking, well, if I can hurt this guy there, I can hurt him again. Yes, the way that Velazco delivers his punches is so Ray Mancini. Or boom boom, of course, to you and me. Well, this will be a 2-point round now, undoubtedly, for Abraham, as once again they begin to rest on the ropes. I tell you what, Abraham's a decent fighter. He is improving too. 25 years of age, plenty of mileage left in him. So Velazco on the floor, by hook or by crook in this round. Nice bit of right hand work there from Abraham, although I don't like to see it. 3 right hands he threw there on their own. Not a sign of a jab. Well, the gum shield has gone from Velasco's mouth. And of course the referee can't just stop the action willy-nilly. There's got to be a suitable break in the action before the gum shield can be replaced. And that's a decent round, a 2-point round then, to bring it all back to square for Abraham. 28 points each. I hope we see that moment again, by the way. Here we go. Well, it was on the ear, there's no doubt about that. He claimed he was hit on the back of the head. Look, see? And then he took a left hook come uppercut that put him on the floor. That's what you call taking your eye off the ball. Don't do it. Well, there's another Armenian fighter. And that was a decent shot. Almost unguarded. Into round 4 we go. Well, I'll tell you what, there may not be a great deal of mileage left in this one. He's a bit of a wild punching Argentinian, this guy. From Buenos Aires, of course, the Argentinian capital. Artillero Abraham, one of the Armenians plying his trade in Germany, and to good effect. Looking now for his 16th straight win. Lots of bouncing around here now from Velazco. Probably more for his benefit than it is for Abraham. Trying to clear his head. Get himself back in this, get back in the mood. Nice jab. And Abraham, a solid puncher. Well, as his 14 wins in 15 inside the limit indicate. Although at a level really that's not terrific. All part of the learning curve, this. Of course, it's a case of been there, done it, really, for Velazco, for WBO champion. Well, clash of heads there. Don't like to see that, but it was an accident. Well, I'll get the doctor up to have a look at this nick, or cut. Don't know how bad it is. It looks like a vertical one between the eyes. That happens so often. Well, he's okay. Well, an accidental clash of heads there. So these are not good moments then for the Argentinian. This visits a cut now, as well as on level terms with Arthur Abraham. And don't forget, we are in the 4th round with less than a minute to go. And an extra target for Abraham to aim at. Oh, that's going to be a real problem, I think, that cut. That could be a fight threatener. Oh, nice bit of work here now. Good work here from Abraham. Well, he's still very game, isn't he? Hector Velazco is still going for it here. Another round though for Artillero Abraham, despite the effort. 38-37 then. Abraham in front now, 4 gone. Potentially, of course, 8 to go. But that cut looks nasty. Hell of an arena here, isn't it?
Dass du gerade Hände boxen sollst? Ist denn das so schlimm? So dumm könnte doch gar nicht sein. Box doch gerade Hände, Mensch. Das ist doch, der läuft dir doch rauf auf so gerade Hände. Hast du gehört? Doch, so Mensch,
well, Uli Wegner there asking for straight punches.
Mann, stehen lassen, komm.
Yep, into round 5 we go. Here we go then. This is round 5 of the schedule 12 for the WBA Intercontinental Middleweight Championship. Artillero Abraham in the white in action here against Hector Velazco of Argentina, the challenger. And he's got a bad cut from a clash of heads in the previous round. A vertical cut above the left eyebrow. Oh, there's a cut, I think, on the left hand of his eye, the left side of his eye now. Yes, there is. There's blood. Yes, there is. And that was a punch, I think, that did it. A right hand. So a major problem here now for Velazco. Cut in 2 places on the left eye. The first one may well have been an accidental clash of heads, but that second one was a right hand. And it's a terrible shame for some fighters who've got a reputation as being bleeders. Well, he's looking at the referee there, Artillero Abraham, which is not his job. If Erkki Merinen wants to stop this, he will do. But some fighters find it distasteful to keep smacking punches into the opponent's wound. And you can understand why. Some members of the crowd do too. Even some members of your commentary team do. That's quite a nasty cut. Well, I've got a feeling that, yes, he's got to stop it at some point. Incidentally, Erkki Merinen, no stranger to cuts. Got quite a bit of scar tissue around his eyebrows. That looks nasty. Well, box on. Well, brave doctor. So round 5 then, a minute to go. And cuts around the left eye here for Velazco. And bleeding quite heavily now. And I suspect all really that Abraham could do here is get it over with. And he's getting marked up around the right eye as well as the left now. Cut, as I say, twice on the left eye, marked up now around the right eye. Oh, that's a pretty nasty mess now. Lots of blood there. 15 seconds or so to go in the 5th round. Good round this again for Artillero. Oh, he's got him again. He's got him again. Right hand at the side of the head there. And he kind of, his feet slipped away from underneath him. I'm not quite sure how genuine that was as a knockdown. Oh, he's in a terrible mess. Yeah, it's all, oh, thank goodness for that, Erky. Yeah, that's a bad mess. Well, the towel came fluttering in from the corner as well. And don't they always throw it when the fight's over? Of course they do. So Artillero Abraham then, second successful defence of his WBA Intercontinental Middleweight title. Where will that get him, I wonder? Let's hope it gets him somewhere. I think he's a decent fighter.
Was? Ja, der andere, ne? Oder ich? Er, ne?
So that's that last right hand. He doesn't like a punch on the ear, does he? Doesn't like a punch on the ear at all. Don't forget, he went down in the, I think was it round 2? No, round 3, I'm sorry. From a punch to the ear, and he's just gone down again. From the same punch, but virtually.
Meine Damen und Herren,
Here we go.
Wir kommen zur Verkündung des Urteils. 11 Sekunden waren noch in der 5. Runde dieses Kampfes verblieben. Sieg durch K.O. für den alten und neuen Meister im interkontinentalen Mittelgewicht für Artillero Abraham.
Yes, indeed he is, the old and the new champion. Well, 16 straight wins now, 15 inside the limit. And an unfortunate ending there for Hector Velazco.
Beherzgeführten Kampf für den Herausforderer Hector Javier Velazco.
So second trip to Germany, second defeat then for Velazco. And this time much more comprehensively at the hands, really, of Artillero Abraham than it was at the hands of Felix Sturm, who only got a split decision win over this guy in Germany. That's that crunching right. Well, that's the end of our programme, and well, as you can see here, some national support for Abraham, who, from a fight whose name is completely gone out of my head. Doesn't it always? But a pretty satisfactory winner there. I don't think too many will argue with that. And I tell you what, I've got a feeling here, with only 16 fights under his belt, and still improvement left in him, being such a long-armed individual, a smart boxer with a pretty decent punch on him, I've got a feeling he might do something. He takes a pretty decent whack as well. And he's only 25 years of age. So all the ingredients are there. Who knows? Well, the crowd's still waiting. I think we're going to leave you. In fact, I know we are. We're going to leave you very shortly. That's that final 2 right hands from Artillero Abraham to dispatch Velazco right at the end of round 5. Cut badly, of course, around the left eye, marked around the right eye. And unfortunately, him, not a pleasant trip to Germany. Anyway, my name's Steve Holdsworth. I do hope you've enjoyed this show. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Take you back.